Welcome, movie lovers. I know we have been hearing so much about Black Panther lately. There's written reviews, audio, videos, and here's another one. Black Panther is a 2018 American superhero film based on the Marvel Comics character of the same name and is the 18th film in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Directed by Ryan Coogler with a screenplay by Coogler and Joe Robert Cole, we see T'Challa return home as King of Wakanda, but finds his sovereignty challenged by a long-time adversary in a conflict that has global consequences. This might have just become my favorite film in the MCU to date. Black Panther not only gave me everything I hoped for from this movie, but everything I've been dying to see in the MCU itself. Equality is an ongoing issue in the world right now, and especially in Hollywood. Many films are attempting to appear more equal in terms of gender and race, but from what I've seen, it tends to come off as forced and more like a studio trying to save face than actually caring about the quality of the content they are delivering. A personal issue of mine for a long time now is how the ratio between male and female characters in the MCU movies have always been extremely off balance. For one woman, there is always 10 men, and typically those women aren't women I myself can look up to or admire, as they tend to mostly play the boring damsel in distress role or spend a great deal of time whining or having very little dialogue and far too many close-ups of their figure. That's not someone I ever planned to relate to. Black Panther has sprung forth as a film that understands equality, understands balance, and most importantly, how to depict them in an organic way. From start to finish, I was witness to an assortment of characters from both genders with personalities that are relatable on so many levels. It was like a dream come true. This film is rich with not only incredible tech, the likes we haven't seen before thanks to incredible CGI work, but this film is also rich in African culture. I must say the use of CGI in this film was absolutely brilliant and uses and creates a great many elements that not only are new but will be considered unique to this film. It really took a deep focus on how does technology translate to the African style, and with that in mind they created the perfect blend of the two. This was one of the things that had me excited to see this movie, seeing how they would combine futuristic technology and science with African culture, and they did not disappoint. To most of the Western world, Africa is sadly viewed as a continent filled with countries consisting of primitive people who lack any modern-day advancements that most of the Western world is afforded. So it fascinated me that there was a story about a place in Africa that is actually the most advanced place on the planet. In many ways, I feel the Western world is missing the beauty that can be found in coming from somewhere filled with culture and traditions. So to see a film that really brings those things to the forefront and shows how important it is to have them was truly magnificent. This film shows how being lucky enough to have culture and traditions can grow in its people a system based on earned respect and honor. Nothing is ever handed to anyone, everything is earned. To see this depicted in this film just had me in awe. There was even a moment where I felt the film was echoing my own thoughts on the situation. During the car chase scene, the good guys are being shot at by the bad guys, nothing new there, and Okoye responds by rolling her eyes and saying, "How primitive." I had to resist the urge to throw my arms in the air and rejoice. One thing I forgot to mention in my written review was the costumes. Oh my god, the costumes are stunning. There is this unique combination of modern practicality with traditional African designs and colors. Everything has been meticulously thought out. Headpieces are very traditional. Everything has a clear use of color to signify tribal differences. This is the same with animal representation. Everything is just so vibrant and eye-catching, but at the same time has a very strong purpose. While Black Panther is the second appearance of the character in the MCU, this is his first standalone movie and our first real chance to understand him and his world. With that in mind, the film is a complete success. To some, it may appear at times as though the pacing is a tad slow, but those slow moments are the moments that the film allows us to get to know T'Challa as a person, to get to know his world and properly establish the story we are there to see. Chadwick Boseman nails it in the role of T'Challa. He plays a strong warrior, a king devoted to his people and his country, and a man who just wants to do right by those around him and live up to the man his father was, but even that sees some obstacles for the character. There is a great deal the character gets to learn about his heritage and himself that will allow him to shape his future and determine what kind of a king he wants to be. Boseman did not fail in a single aspect of his performance. Casting was perfection, and there is definitely a journey to the character, and I can't wait to see him reprise the role in Avengers Infinity War. Another standout for me was Okoye, played by Danai Gurira. I hope I pronounced that right. What a performance. Okoye is a proud warrior and general of the Dora Milaje, a sort of secret service to the throne of Wakanda. I absolutely loved this character. She is strong, confident, and an incredible fighter. She is fiercely loyal to the throne with a strong sense of duty, but there is a heart there. She cares deeply for her country and her people. She isn't one of those characters who is always steel-faced and in desperate need of a relaxant. She actually has a sense of humor and is not devoid of emotion, as made evident when she shows great sadness and fear when T'Challa is in danger. Michael B. Jordan, who plays Eric Stevens, aka Ninjadaka, a very intelligent and skilled fighter. He is a very conflicted character who is the product of a broken world. While he is a villain, there is still a great deal the audience can sympathize with, which definitely adds more dimension to the character, and Jordan delivers that very well. Lupita Nyong'o plays Nakia, a sort of unofficial love interest to T'Challa, but that is never how she acts, which makes her far more interesting to watch. She is a strong and capable fighter, but her heart is her biggest strength. She wants to help not only the people of Wakanda, but people around the world who are less fortunate than those of her country. She has a great deal of compassion and acts very much as T'Challa's conscience for moments throughout the film. However, there was one performance I was less than impressed by, and that was Ulysses Claw, played by Andy Serkis. To put it bluntly, I loathe this character. I suppose Serkis, is that even how you pronounce it? I'm off today. Sells the performance, but I can't say it was a performance I enjoyed watching. The character is many times referred to as an enemy of Wakanda and has escaped their justice for over 30 years. This continues to baffle me, as he comes off as a complete arrogant moron. While he certainly has plenty of people working for him and advanced weaponry, he fails to come off as an evil mastermind in the slightest. So how a country as advanced as Wakanda has failed to capture him for so many decades utterly blows my mind. I understand the use of the character, but it was one I could have lived without, as it was the only thing I didn't enjoy about the movie. But the pros certainly outweigh the cons in this film, as there are so many performances and characters with complexities or traits to enjoy. From Letitia Wright's character Shuri, T'Challa's younger sister and the Princess of Wakanda. She is your typical sassy teenager who enjoys messing with her older brother, but where she is not typical is her incredible intelligence. As one of the smartest and most innovative people in the MCU, she is the lead scientist and technology expert in Wakanda, responsible for designing and creating many of their technological advances. Did I mention she's only 16 years old? If you want to feel like an underachiever, this'll do it. But for the youth watching this, she is a beacon for the possibilities of what you can do when you put your mind to it. Angela Bassett's character, Ramonda, Queen of Wakanda, was another delight. While I would have loved to see her in a fight scene just once, I accept and continue to enjoy how she was represented. Her strengths are definitely in her being a mother. Referred to as Queen Mother, it signifies that she is not only a mother to her children, but a mother to her people. Taking a very maternal approach to her rule, she would do anything for her family and her people. In many movies, for the longest time, there has always been an actor to represent the uncomfortable role of the token black guy. Well, this film certainly flips that around and gives us the token white guy, which is a concept I found highly amusing. Martin Freeman plays the role of Everett K. Ross, a CIA agent and someone who is welcomed into the secret world of Wakanda. While he offers brief moments of comic relief, he also is the starting point for T'Challa to be encouraged to open Wakanda to the world. He is an ally to T'Challa and aids him and others in protecting Wakanda and preventing an all-out war. With a couple standout moments, I enjoyed the extra layer this character provided the film. Of all the Marvel films, I feel Black Panther focuses the least on comedy and tries to focus more on the story, tone, and its characters, which I greatly appreciate. While there are occasional moments of levity, there is nothing too in your face and never pulls focus to the point of making this come off as a comedy film. I would say compared to many MCU films, this one is more serious in tone. The music of Black Panther combines the standard Marvel scores along with African musical themes mixed in with urban R&B to create something out of this world. It's a fresh, new sound that doesn't remind me of anything. It feels completely new and 100% a reflection on this film. The score is by Ludwig Göransson. Again, don't know if that's how you pronounce it, and it's spectacular, and the accompanying soundtrack is one I must go and get right now. As not only a Marvel fan, but a fan of cinema in general, this film is an incredible and impactful step forward for both Marvel and cinema. In terms of Marvel, it has a different tone and a new grasp on the concept of equality, which I hope not only impacts future Marvel films, but the cinematic world itself. If you haven't already, then go and see Black Panther as soon as you can. You will not be disappointed. Be sure to stick around for the mid-credit and post-credit scenes. If you are someone who leaves before the end of the credits during a Marvel movie, I feel sorry for you. Are these scenes important and you can't risk missing them? No, but they are still fun to watch. Thank you so much for watching today's video. If you're not already, then please subscribe to my channel and stay tuned for future content. Until next time, bye.
Tell me what you gon' do to me. Confrontation ain't nothing new to me. You could bring a bullet, bring a sword, bring a morgue, but you can't bring the truth to me. Fuck you and all your expectations. I don't even want your congratulations. I recognize your false confidence and calculated promises all in your conversation.